Begin afresh every morning. Devotional thoughts for women.
Greetings, dear friends. Today, June 3rd, 2023, our devotional is entitled Up to Half of the Kingdom. The scripture reading is taken from Esther chapter 9, verse 2. The Jews gathered together in their cities throughout all the provinces of King Ahasuerus to lay hands on those who sought them harm. And no one could withstand them, because fear of them fell upon all people. Queen Esther's beauty and character conquered the king's heart. She was the best one to ask the king for help after the death sentence was decreed for the Jews. She fasted and prayed before she risked her life for her people by going to visit the king uninvited. She combined courage and strategy. She did not make her requests at once, but rather invited the king to a banquet in his honor. The matter required caution, and although the king offered her up to half of the kingdom, she asked him to come to a second banquet. It was after the first banquet that the king decided to honor the man who had saved his life. During the second banquet, the queen informed her beloved king and husband of Haman's evil plan against all of her people, and Haman was hung that same day on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. The steps Esther took to achieve her goal included 1. Fasting, prayer, and consecration. Esther chapter 4 verse 16. 2. Dressing in her royal clothing and approaching the throne. Esther chapter 5 verse 1. 3. Asking humbly and in accordance with the will and grace of the king. Offering 2 banquets before revealing her request to the king. When we face a crisis, let us follow these simple steps: praying and fasting, putting on the royal garments of Christ's righteousness. Let us go before the throne humbly and ask that our requests be heard, and if it pleases our King and it is His will, to grant it by His grace. I'm sure we will hear the same response that Esther heard. What is your request? It shall be given to you up to half of the kingdom. That day was intended to be a day of destruction, and death was returned into a day of victory and celebration. The Jews fought not as victims, but as victorious people who enjoyed the favor of the king. Angels that excel in strength had been commissioned by God to protect His people while they stood for their lives. In each decision, make sure that you have the company and the favor of your king. It does not matter how many come against you, you will triumph. When, like Queen Esther, you fall down at the feet of the King and Redeemer, you can stand tall against any enemy or adversity.